Welcome back, guys. It is a Saturday evening. Tonight we are looking at Cardano ADA. The price of Cardano today is apparently in the red. It's down by about 2.4%. This comes after a very strong week for the currency. We can see started off the week at a price of about $1.31. Again, coming towards the end of the week now, we're on $1.40. It doesn't sound like a big increase, but the highs of the week were all the way up at $1.50 and beyond, hitting as high as $1.54. So we have seen a lot of growth this week. We've obviously seen a lot of volatility. The crypto market as a whole has seen a lot of volatility. And over the past month, you can see Cardano has been quite dead. So even though we have actually come down from the highs that we have seen earlier this week, I do believe that the breakout that we saw this week was actually what we needed to send Cardano prices once more on the up and keep interest in this currency. So interesting things to note that I can see from this chart is that we have seen 6-month highs in the past week or so, and even over the past 5 years we can see that we have actually beaten these highs from January 2018. So a lot of growth has come into this currency, both over the past few months and over the past few weeks especially, and even over the past few days. But the question ultimately is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? And can it be maintained? Well, guys, nobody does know for sure, and obviously I am not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research, but I'm giving you all of my personal thoughts in this video. If you may enjoy, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because we talk about stocks, cryptos, and everything which is hot in the market right every single day. So again, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. It is completely free to do so. Let's jump into this one though. Again, look at the price that we have been seeing, this time on a more technical chart, and then moving on to some of the more fundamental aspects of Cardano. So volume for Cardano on Friday was at 4.18 billion. This is quite good. Again, if we can see volume from previous days, if it will allow us to highlight it, we can see that volume on the Thursday of last week was pretty high as well. Volume on that day was 5.6 billion. So we came down a bit from then, and the previous day before that it was 5.34 billion. So ultimately the volume has been quite high for this currency for the longest time. Again, even down here we saw volume of about 1.6 billion, 2 billion. So it just shows when volume does get hot, it does get quite hot. And now we are on 4.1 billion volume on Friday, which is not too bad at all. So again, this volume was cooling off a little bit, which is kind of a good thing, because again, we don't want to see too many people selling, because it would send the price even further. If you can see one thing about this candlestick, the body of it is actually more towards the top, which is a good thing. So the lows of the day were quite low, but of course we pulled ourselves back from those and brought it up a little bit. Again, we weren't pushing fully up to the upside, so we did come down a bit from the highs of the day, and this was obviously apparent on those other charts. But you know what, it's not a bad thing, and again, it does put us in a good position to see this one hopefully rally a bit next week. Now, if we do have a quick look at the whole crypto market to get a bit of understanding of what has been going on, we're going to go over to CoinMarketCap and look at these charts over here. Now, they're not the most advanced and they are quite small, but it basically tells you most of the things that you need to know. It looks at the price action of some of our favorite cryptos over the past 7 days. So we're going to start off at the top and move ourselves down. Top is obviously Bitcoin. This is by market cap. So again, Bitcoin has seen a big rally up this week, similar to Cardano, but of course it has fallen a little bit towards the end. Ethereum saw a bigger rally and it didn't fall as much, but again, it is still falling a little bit. The BNB Binance coin has also taken a big rally and a much deeper sell-off than the two before. And going down a bit further, Ripple XRP, again, big rally up and then quite a large sell-off towards the end of the week. Now, USTD, this is Tether. This has taken a big rally apparently in the past day or so. We can see a big green candle from this one up here, which is good news. And then we have Cardano. So what I'm trying to say here is that Cardano is performing the same as a lot of the other cryptos, moving in a very similar way to Ethereum up here, and quite similar as well to Bitcoin. So as long as this one moves in the same trend as a lot of the cryptos, I'm pretty happy that this one is still quite stable, and that is what we are seeing right now. So big gains have been made on the whole crypto market recently, but we haven't actually lost them yet. We are still in the green, and I think that will be the case for a lot of these cryptos going forwards. So let's move on to another important piece of information which I do have to share, and this is coming from earlier today. This is coming from Lunar Crush, which is basically a social listing for cryptocurrencies. If we go down a little bit on their page on Twitter, we'll be able to see the top 10 coins by 1 day social mentions. Now, understandably, 5 hours ago this was written, by the way. Understandably, Dogecoin is number 1 with 423 mentions. We have Bitcoin next, again that is also understandable, followed by Ethereum, both with 258.7 thousand mentions and 52k. And then going all the way down, we can see that we have Cardano ADA with 19,000. So again, that's not the most popular, obviously. It is still higher than BNB, it's higher than XRP, it's higher than VET, it's higher than a lot of these other currencies, and again, it is a solid 5 on the charts. If we can have a quick look in a bit more detail on these images to provide some context, we can see down here, if it will allow us to highlight it, that basically Cardano is quite stable amongst them. It's obviously not doing too bad, and again, a lot of the other cryptos are on a similar level. A lot of the more unpopular ones, or the less popular ones, are on a similar level, and there is definitely quite a lot of room between both Cardano and obviously Bitcoin and Dogecoin in popularity, and even Ethereum. But you know what, it is still up there. It's up there by quite a small amount. It's only 3k away from the second closest one, but obviously it is still up there, and that does still show a lot of interest. Let's move on now to some important news around the currency, basically looking at the fundamentals, because that is what we are here to do. So we're going to start off doing this on Yahoo Finance, because we have an article talking about what Cardano is and what it can be used for. So we can have a quick read of this quick paragraph. It tells us all that we need to know. We can see up here, what is Cardano? Cardano is an open source blockchain platform that boasts its own cryptocurrency tokens called ADA. The network will someday also support smart contracts, which are contracts that automatically execute their own terms and agreements. That is very cool. The element of Cardano is still under construction, so it's not widely available for use yet. However, Cardano prides itself on having some very bright minds working on its system, with scientists from universities like the University of Edinburgh, Tokyo Institute of Technology as well, and these people are helping out. So again, some very bright minds there, and we can see that they have some very interesting plans according to Yahoo Finance, with things like apparently smart agreements, and obviously working on their system and their whole community. And this is something which we're going to speak about towards the end of the video, because I do think it is important. But basically it tells us a lot of the things that we do need to know. We can read another part here. It says that Cardano's account value ledger is the Cardano settlement layer. This is part of the blockchain platform that hosts ADA. Its purpose is to improve on some of the scaling issues that exist with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and first and second generation cryptocurrencies. It also separately paired with Cardano's computation layer, which allows it to customize the rules of transactions individually. So that is some of the information that we might want to know about Cardano, if you were wondering what it is. Again, I'm sure most of you guys do know, but we are looking at some of the fundamentals, just, to give a bit of an understanding. We can see some of the benefits of Cardano down here, and some of the interesting points that we do have to talk about Cardano on this page on Investopedia. This talks about a lot of the things which Cardano does offer over some of the other cryptos, and we can see this in this paragraph here. So ADA calls itself the first third generation cryptocurrency, and aims to tackle scaling infrastructure problems that first cropped up in Bitcoin and first generation cryptocurrencies that introduced the idea of digital coins, and Ethereum and second generation coins and cryptocurrency that expand use cases for coins and smart contracts. Specifically, Cardano aims to solve problems related to scalability, interoperability, I think that is, and sustainability on cryptocurrency platforms. So realistically, guys, this does tell us all that we need to know in this last line. It tells us some of the benefits of Cardano going forwards, and some of the things which they do intend to do. So they call themselves the first third generation crypto, saying that there aren't many other cryptos on the level that they are, and they are one of the first to be there. They say some of their things which they want to do down here, such as, solve problems related to scalability, interoperability as well, and sustainability of other cryptos, and obviously make a real world use case for these cryptos as well, and things like that, which is good. We can see the first problem refers to slowing down of networks and high fees due to increased transaction volumes, and we can see this article down here. Cardano's algorithm outburrows has been put forward as a possible solution to solving its scaling problems. So that is some interesting piece of information that we can see as well. And again, this all just tells us a bit more that we might want to know about the currency, and some of the benefits that we could be seeing for the currency there. So what we have established so far is that there are some smart minds working on this one, there's a lot of interest in it, and obviously it has some potential, it has actual real world benefits over some other cryptos. Again, if we do want to have a quick look on their website here, which is of course called Cardano.org, we can see some of their interesting piece of information. This was written on the 12th of April, so not long ago. This was written on the 12th as well, and this one talks a bit further about their smart contracts if you were wanting to hear about them, so make sure to look it up. I definitely do want to cover them in this video, but I think it will take too long, so perhaps we'll do this in another video, because it is a really interesting topic to talk about, and it definitely could take up a full 10-minute video by itself. So again, feel free to give it a read in your own time by next time we look at this one, or by some point in the next week, because we will have a look into these smart contracts. Now here is something which I find interesting, because again, like I said with many other cryptos, in my opinion, we do need to have a real world use case for cryptocurrencies to see them become popularized and to see them have a real impact on the world. Now this is something that we have seen with Bitcoin, for example, where we can of course spend Bitcoin. Some other cryptos aren't necessarily there, people treating them as more of an investment. That is not a bad thing, but we are seeing some steps in the right direction from Cardano at least to hopefully make this a real world use crypto. So we can see this article here from CoinDesk. It says Cardano Venture Fund makes the first investment of 500k in payments to firm Coty, or Coty, but we're going to call it Coty for this video. So this is interesting, it really is. It says obviously Coty has received $500,000 from C Fund, making it the first investment made by the venture fund backed by Cardano, the network behind the 7th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. So we can see this is good news. The $20 million C Fund was launched in July of last year and is a joint venture between Cardano builder IOHK and Los Angeles-based Wave Financial. The aim of the fund is to grow Cardano ecosystem, and this is really the part of the article that I want to focus on the most, because it is all good and well talking about, you know, the actual product that we are seeing, but I find it interesting that this fund of $20 million, which sounds like a lot, it is quite a lot of money, but ultimately, the fund has been used to obviously help grow the Cardano ecosystem. So this goes back to the point that I was making just a few moments ago. I think that a lot of cryptos, or at least all cryptos, if they do want to see real world value, we are going to have a use for them in real world. And this is what we are seeing with Cardano, with the company, or at least the backers, trying to build an ecosystem. And this really is a good and big deal in my opinion. It's something which really should be taken seriously. So I do want to take a moment to focus on that. I think it is important, and I think Cardano, people think it's just a crypto that saw a bit of hype, and yes, it did see a bit of hype, and that is definitely the case, but ultimately, I think it's going to be a bit hard to say that Cardano is just a hype cryptocurrency which is going to plummet to the ground. That's my personal thoughts. I think Cardano is a cryptocurrency that it's not really out there yet, it doesn't have a real world use case yet, but we are getting there, we really are getting there. Of course, we are seeing prices rally on their own anyway, but I think as the C Fund does actually develop, as we see an ecosystem develop for Cardano, we're in a great position to see a real third generation cryptocurrency, as they do call it. I think there is some real world potential for this one. Tell me your thoughts down below, guys. I do want to hear them. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all again very soon. I just thought I'd make another quick video looking at the fundamentals of Cardano. See you all very soon, hopefully tomorrow. Goodbye.